Chess for Children. We make children smarter.
Hello, Chess for Children kids. It's me, Mr. C, and today's subject is Rook and Bishop checkmate.
Chess for children kids, so much fun you'll split a rib. Summer, winter, fall, we'll checkmate them all with a Chess for Children game.
Hi, today's subject is Rook and Bishop checkmates. And there are three types of Rooks and Bishop checkmates. One is Anderson's mate. Number two is Pillsbury's mate. And number three is Reddy's mate. These are the three types of checkmates that you can get with the Rook and Bishop. That doesn't include Morphy's mates. Okay, we'll get right to it. Anderson's mate. Carl Ernest Adolf Anderson, born July 6, 1818 and died March 13, 1879, was a German chess master. He won many international tournaments, but lost matches to Paul Morphy and William Steinitz. He was considered the best player in the world from 1851 to 1858, and then Morphy beat him in the match. And then from when Morphy retired, he was considered the best player in the world from 1862 to 1866, when Wilhelm Steinitz then wrested the title away from him. Anderson has another mate named after him, but we will only consider the one involving a Rook and Bishop. This is the starting position of Anderson's mate. Now notice, except for the bishop on e4, this looks like Morphy's deferred checkmate, mate in 5. If you want to know more about Morphy's deferred checkmate, well, look at the video that we've done on Morphy's mates. But this is not mate in 5. This is mate in 3 with the inclusion of the other bishop. Take a second to stop the video and see if you can solve it. Okay, if you solved it, congratulations. If you haven't, now's the time to see the answer. Well, let's look at the position. How many squares does the Black King have? Black King has 2 squares, G8 and H8. What's going to take away G8? Well, the Rook. What's going to take away H8? Well, the Bishop. But we have a situation here where we know that if Rook takes pawn and the Rook moves back, well, F6 will interfere. So how does the other bishop help? Well, the other bishop helps because when Rook takes G7 check, and let's play it so that you see it, and King moves to H8, the Rook can take on H7 because of the inclusion of the bishop. And so when we take the pawn on H7, which is double check, then we can add, now the bishop is uncovered on H8 and the Rook is uncovered on H8, and the checkmate is simply Rook to H8, and the game is over. This is Anderson's checkmate. Pillsbury's checkmate. Harry Nelson Pillsbury was a strong American chess player. He was one of the best chess players in the world from 1895 to 1906. He didn't play for the World Championship because of his early death. This is his checkmate. Now notice, rather than the last situation, we had 2 bishops. Now White has 2 rooks. Now this is checkmate in 3 moves. White to move and checkmate in 3 moves. If you want to solve it yourself, stop the video and begin. Okay, now if you solved it yourself, congratulations. If you didn't solve it, well, now's the time to learn about it. White to move and checkmate in 1. Well, the first move should be pretty obvious. Rook takes G7 check. King has 2 squares and now he has 1. Now we know we have a discovery, and of course, In Morphy's deferred mate, rook takes f7 would lead to mate and checkmate in 5 moves. But here we have a quicker way. And when you think about it, and we look at Morphy's mate, Morphy didn't need this other rook. So how can we use this rook to the best effect and make the most forcing move? Well, the most forcing move is to just give itself up and double check the king. And now the bishop is uncovering on h8. And the king must take because it's double check. And anytime there's a double check, the king must move. Now let's look at the squares. The square that the king has is only g8. And so the rook comes over to g1 and delivers the checkmate. This is Pillsbury's mate, and it is a quick mate. I hope you guys solved it. Reddy's checkmate. Richard Reddy, one of the most important contributors to hypermodernism in chess, was a chess player, composer, and author, and this is his checkmate. Right now, going to talk about Reddy's mate. And Reddy's mate, like the opera box mate, is also based on a game that was played. In fact, Reddy's mate game is considered the second most known game in the chess lexicon. The game was played in Vienna in 1910, and we're going to provide you a little Viennese background music just to get you in the mood and show you a few pictures of what it was like to be in Vienna in 1910, at least the Vienna Chess Club. And now we are going to go over the game. And the game is Richard Reddy versus Savielly Tardikower, a Polish grandmaster. And this is how the game went. Okay, e4, c6, the Cairo-Can defense, d4, d5, knight c3. All these are pretty standard. Pawn takes, knight f6. So far, so good. These are all pretty standard. And now Reddy played an unusual move, queen to d3. Now, this is a casual game, so it's not for a tournament or anything, so he's probably trying something out. Okay, the usual move is knight takes f6. But queen d3, it's pretty interesting. So Tardikower probably thought that this move was a mistake. And he wanted to punish it right away, and he played e5. Oops, sorry, wrong move. He played e5, trying to break open the center right away. Well, okay, pawn takes pawn, and queen to e5. a5 check, picking the pawn right back up. Bishop to d2, he picks the pawn up and pins the knight, and when castle long, he thought he could just take this knight. Okay, but here's where the magic happens. Now, if you want to try to solve this position, stop the video, take some time, and try to solve it. Okay, well, you took some time. I hope you solved it. Good luck great job if you did. And if you didn't, well, maybe you'll do it next time. So the move was queen to d8. Okay, a discovery. Move which must be answered. And now a double check comes in. Bishop to g5. Now, if king moved to d8, well, that would be Morphy's mate with rook to d8. But thank you, Tardikower, for playing king to c7, because now it ceases to be a Morphy's mate and now becomes a Reddy's mate. Do you see the move? It's checkmate in 1. White to move and checkmate in 1. Okay, the move is bishop to d8. Truly a unique mate, done by a bishop protected by a rook, a bishop and knight mate, a bishop and rook mate. And so this is a beautiful checkmate, which Reddy now has in the lexicon of chess. And there you have it, checkmate with the rook and bishop. Anderson's mate, Pillsbury's mate, and Reddy's mate. If you enjoyed this video, like us, share it on Facebook or YouTube, or like and share as much as you want. Okay. Also, if you want to know more about future videos, hit the notification button and send us lots of comments. We need criticism and we need it bad. Now, uh, our website is chessforchildren.com. We are also streaming on Twitch. So if you'd like to get a chance to play me, Mr. C, in person, well, hey, go to Twitch. Okay, thank you so much for standing around and watching our video. And like I said, I shall see you guys next time. This is Mr. C saying so long.